Good afternoon, traders, and welcome to another edition of Awesomecallstrading.com. I want to thank you so much for joining us today. Today really was a wonderful day to trade in the markets. It was so much fun. Um, yesterday was fun too. I mean, let's face it, I had a blast. With the gap downs, and then we played the pops. It was so much fun. What was interesting, though, in reality, was the amount of uh, rooms that did not want to trade, limited their subscribers to what to trade, and the others were just, the small cap rooms just didn't want to trade. They wanted you to go shopping, go have a beer, have a pizza, uh, buy some caps and T-shirts or whatever. I mean, they had their thing to do, or they just stayed in bed. But as with Awesome Calls Trading, it's a little bit different. Obviously, we're professional day traders in here. We trade the market whether it's up 500 or down 700. It doesn't matter to me at all. I'll trade everything, and I surround myself with amazing traders, mods in the room. Dark Side, Janny, Fire, B Trades, Dave the Trader, who's amazing. Um, and Raphael and Palmer when he's in. He's a part-time trader. You know, I do want to say one thing before I just go into a quick recap of what we did because it was a phenomenal day. But I want to give props to a special trader in the room. Actually, two of them. Uh, Three of them let's just say three of them we could do. I want to give props to Noel on his wonderful day today. $1,300 in the money. He just scored really great on Jemiah, and he just made another 120 on the great Dark Side Alert on stamps. Um, just a really great trader who's really developing his skills. I want to give props to Ollie Biggs today. Big day for Ollie. Traders, keep in mind for $500, $500. His platform gives you $13,000, $14,000 to work with. And today, just today, on one stock he traded, Jemiah, he made $530. So if you have very little money to work with, this is the room. And I believe he's forming a list of specific day traders he's going to trade with. And but you must be a monthly subscriber, and he's going to help you kind of go over what he trades in the morning, what he watches on the watch list, and so forth. It's going to be great for some of you, especially new beginning coming from the small cap penny stock room. So then also want to give a mad props to my friend Christian. I love him. He's been struggling last couple of days, and he reached out to me. He DM'd me, which is what I encourage. And today was one of his best trading days, and I just want to give him props to those three individuals. Um, it was a wonderful day to trade today. I was so happy to be a part of this room, and I'll just kind of go briefly into what we did. Bottom line was yesterday I made a decision. I made a call um, um, that the market was going. Yesterday we just had that massive turmoil down 600-700 points, and I pretty much told everyone in the room, hey, expect okay, stamps is moving. I need to make really good money. 43.50 would be good. I'd be super stoked, and so we'll see how that goes. I really kind of wanted to fill more of that gap, but it's okay. Um, Yesterday I made a comment to the traders in the room. Hey, I think tomorrow we're going to have a nice gap up. And it wasn't just thrown out there just because I felt very confident that we were going to get a recovery. I felt Boeing, NVIDIA, ANET, the stocks that we traded yesterday were all going to gap up. And they did. It was a really nice gap up. Some traders took advantage of it. Others, just kind of waited, to preserve their capital. Today, I actually traded about 6 tickers. Did very, very well. I gave every alert, every exit, every average, what I was doing. Um, Boeing was just one of my favorite trades today. I have to tell you, when I went after Boeing today, if you look, made it very clear, if you get it at 338 and under, expect Boeing to hit 345. And I even said, if you read right here, long 338 and under, bottom curl and go to 345. This was truly one of the most phenomenal calls in day trading as a trader, and I will show it to you. And the reason why I felt so is because I felt Boeing was a stock that was going to recover. That 337 was a buying opportunity. And I actually told you yesterday, and I made it very clear, I'd be buying 345 and 355 calls weekly out. And I made it clear. I even said on the webinar, you can check yesterday's webinar, I'd be buying the calls, I'd be buying the calls, I'd be buying the calls. On the equity side today, I just simply said wait for the pull to 338 and the stock would go to 345, and here you go, 338, and Boeing now 346. So 345 was right there. Okay, so that was a beautiful trade that we did this morning. Another one that we called out this morning was Jemiah. This is the one that a lot of traders did very, very, very well on. TD doesn't have shorts, but it's okay. I played the long side of Jemiah and did extremely well on it. I was very happy with the trade. But on Jemiah, what happened was it was gapping up. They had earnings. They gave earnings. But more importantly, the CEO came out and voiced his opinion of what he felt um, um, against the short sellers. All know Citron's on it short, and he really came out and defended his company. So it got a little spark on the gap a little bit from yesterday to today. So it closed at 26, and then it hit 29. So what I figured on the gap, here's the gap right here, was 27.80, $28. So I told everyone in the room, I believe strongly the stock will probably most likely pop at the open towards the 30 spot, and when it does, look for it to come down to 26.50 and go long. That was the call on Jemiah, and because it closed at 26.30, so I figured I'll give it like 20 cents off the bottom. I just kind of felt I didn't think it would gap fill all the way, not with the earnings and the CEO, but I'll tell you, it was a wonderful entry, and I'll show you the stock. Here it goes, ding, 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 and here is the stock pushed almost to 30 and came all the way down to $26.28. Right here is your 26.50 area. I think I'll sell the stamp. I think Dark Side is just not going to hold. The news is Army versus U.S. Postal Service, so I think we're just going to get rid of it, and before it goes all the way down to the 41.90. So I think the alert. I think everyone was thinking, like I was thinking, that it was the U.S. Postal. So we'll get out of it and be done with it. And I don't want to get caught in that all the way down to 41.90. So, okay. So anyway, we pulled it all the way down to 26.50, which is right here, and the stock ramped all the way back up to 28. If you were on the short side of this, you would have nailed this beautifully off the 29. Pull down, add into it, and just smash it. And it was just an incredible opportunity to make some really good money. We had some afternoon selling here too, as you can tell. It's just really market dumped it. Somebody just dumped it, but really nice trade on Jemiah. Good call on that. I gave a little bit of a small play this morning called SLDB. This one had horrible earnings, and it got gutted 50% today from yesterday's close. On these type of plays, the company's not going to go bankrupt, and so the interpretation when you see a stock down 50%, everyone out there thinks the stock is going to go to zero, and that you can't do that. So what you have to do as a professional trader, you have to go and look what the analysts are saying and their comments on it. So the first thing when I see a stock down 50% on earnings, I immediately go to the analysts. Analysts gave Credit Suisse dropped the stock to $6, and Goldman gave a $5 price target, $4 price target. So that told me that the company's definitely in trouble, and there's these two firms do not believe the stock is worth. Even Chardon, which is the most crappiest company out there, gave it a 750. I felt shorts would cover, and so I put a call out to go long the stock at 450 and 5, and I said the stock would most likely go through 6 or more. Stock ended up almost going straight up almost to 7, and if you can see pre-market, if you started picking up at my notes at 450 and 5, it's a nice move to 680. So if you're in the penny stock land, that would have been a beautiful trade. And the reason why I called for it simply was that shorts were going to cover the position, knowing what the analysts were saying the stock was worth. Um, I didn't think they would hold and wait for $4 to cover. They would all want to try to cover their positions pretty much at the opening bell. And that's exactly what happened. They started and they drove it upwards, which is why I called for that area here. So if you were in the room and you took 1,000 shares, you would have been up almost $1,000 within the first 4 minutes of the opening bell. So really a nice trade. Um, Another great trade we did today. I mean, we had so many. Um, we had Stone, which I thought was a really nice trade, and I'll show you that one. But I think I'd like to maybe do either Shop. We did Shop, NVIDIA, and TDD. So let me see. Let's go TDD. TDD, when the markets, okay, listen, I want to try to explain something to you. Why did I go after TDD, NVIDIA, and Shop? Well, a couple reasons. Yesterday they got hit hard. Market was coming down really hard, right? So they had a massive gap up this morning on TDD, all right, because the market was gapping up. So um, it closed yesterday at what 176.49, and it gapped up to 179.180. So what I felt the stock would do was it was going to run back to where it should be, which is in the 180, 190 range. But before it gets there, I've got to set up the stock for everyone to go long, and especially my option players that like to play calls. Because they'll load up on calls on this at 180, 190 calls at the opening bell. And so I went after this stock, and I want you to look how I called it out. I think you'll be really impressed if it's your first time listening to the webinar. I said the stock will most likely pull back to 178 and under and then go long. As long as the market holds, the stock will start ramping up through 182. Okay, so I want you to key that figure, 178 under. Now, this was written down an hour before the market, and in the room, it was written down 30 minutes before the market even opened. Okay, so my call was a TDD, wait for the pullback to 178 and under, and go all day long to the upside. And see how I keep saying 178? I must have emphasized it at 178 and under. And again, this is what you get when you pay for this room. Okay, now watch. Ding, 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 ding. Guess where it hit? 178 and under. 177.85. And the stock ramped all the way to $187 a share. I mean, that's what you're paying for. It is truly one of the most beautiful calls to trade. I'm going to give you another one. NVIDIA. I love NVIDIA. I love it, love it, love it, love it. It's an easy stock to read. Um, I mean, it's for me one of the most easiest stocks to read. Now, the key to NVIDIA, when the market's gapping up, the stock's going to run. The key is the entry. Sometimes if you get in too soon with too much size, it'll shake you out because NVIDIA tends to like to gap fill. They're one of the ones that like to gap fill on fat fingers and so forth, and they really kind of like they tend to shake traders out. So what I did is I set this thing up. I actually wanted 159.50. See how it closed at 158? So I said, well, and it was gapping up here at 161. So I said, why don't we wait for 159.50 to start getting in? Because the stock's going to go all the way back up to 162, 163. Actually, I wrote it right here. I'll show it to you on the video. NVIDIA. The stock is going to go to 162, 163. That's done. I'm going to get you there. Okay, you don't even need to worry about that. It's done. But before it gets there, okay, I got to bring it down first. So gap fill this back down to 159.50 and under and bottom curl it and walk it up to 163. You see that? If it popped to 163, it was still going to come down and gap fill. At the end of the day, it was still going to end up around 163 a share. Now, I want you to listen to how I wrote that. If this squeezes it open to 163, top it off, bring it back down to 159.50 and under. Bottom curl it all day long to the upside, back to 163. Okay? Again, this is a professional day trader calling out NVIDIA. You want to see it? Now play it. All right? So here's NVIDIA. I said it would pull at the open to 159.50 and under. There's 159.50. Hold just under. Bottom curl it. Long to what? 163. Stock is at 163.40. I did not call the stock to go to 165. I did not say the stock would. A matter of fact, it's sitting at 163 right now, pretty much. I didn't give you unrealistic numbers. I gave you plenty of room to get in case it pulled. You had a nice average. And I was playing this live in the room. When it broke out the flag up here, it was on. I'm going to give you another one that a lot of traders got to trade. I did not get to trade this. It was unfortunate. I could have, but TD did not have the shorts. This is Cyber. Cyber's a really great stock, but when it has earnings, okay, it gaps up and it always squeezes. Always remember that. Always squeezes. My job is to anticipate the squeeze and then where it's going to come down to. And I want you to take a moment and look at this call. I want you just to look at the first 30 minutes of the market, how this was called. All right, and see how special this room was. Are you ready? And only a true professional day trader can make a call like this. All right, somebody who really is experienced. Now, don't get me wrong. I have fucked up many a times on Cyber, and you can ask the mods in here and some of the traders in here. I have not been right a lot of times on Cyber. I've screwed up. I've lost a lot of money. But again, I always tell people, you can never be a leader, a true leader, until you lose. And for me, when I lose on a trade or I make a really shitty call or I'm wrong on my numbers, I study. You don't realize the amount of intensity I study because I don't want to make that mistake. I don't want to be embarrassed. And traders in the room, especially a new person walking in paying $25 or $100 for the week, I don't want them to look at me like I'm stupid. So I learned from my mistakes so I can be more accurate on the call the next time it comes out. All right. And I was ready. I wanted to impress. And today I wanted to impress everyone, but I wanted to impress Janny and Darkside and Fire. I wanted to show my great mods in here like, I learned from this. Okay. I learned. I'm not going to make a mistake. I'm ready now. All right. Give me another chance, you know? And so I did. I redeemed myself today really, really well. And I want you to look at the call on Cyber right here. And it was one of the first stocks I wrote this morning. Now you got to understand the stock was sitting at what 127 a share, I believe 128. So I told everyone in the room, the stock's going to pop to 132. It's automatic. Don't even worry about it. Once it pops, we're going to shred it to 123 and under. Okay, I really want you to look at this call. All right, pop to 132, and I want to shred it to 123. So imagine a day trader in here with 100 shares, 12,000 buying power. You're going to tell me I'm going to make 9 points on your trade? Yes. 9 points. You swear I'm going to make 9 points if you follow what I wrote here. All right. Let's see if you're any good. Let's see if I redeem myself. Ding, 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 ding. Fat fingered up at 133.48. There's the 132 I was talking about. See the fat finger? And then here's the pull right here, 132. See it? There's 132. Now watch the pull. What did I say? 123. And look where it hit. 123. And it double bottomed at 122.66. 122.50. Do you see that? Do you see the beauty of this room? There's no words. Now imagine trading that stock with 100 shares, 200 shares, 300 shares. Because the person in the room understands how to read a stock like that. Okay? And I'll leave you with one more trade. One more trade. Okay? And I'll call it a day. What do I give you? NVIDIA, I gave you Boeing, Annette, I gave you TDD. I'm going to give you Stone. You never heard of Stone? I like giving you things you've never heard of. I could give you Shop. I mean, I could talk like that all day. I, but I think I'm going to impress you with this one. It's a little Chinese stock. The problem is their earnings were horrific, and they got downgrades this morning. And I believe the president left the company. Let me double check that. I wonder if this is the company. Hold on. Stone 5. Oh, they actually had an earnings beat. Yeah, now I remember this one. They had an earnings beat, and they were willing to do a 200 million repurchase, which to me it means actually nothing. When a company says, "Oh, we're going to repurchase 200 million," there's no designated date. I mean, they could just say that in a directors board meeting and say, "Hey, let's just say that." And what it does is it tries to give spark into the stock. And I'm going to give you a little trick. All the mods in here, all the subscribers in here, and those that are listening to this webinar, I'm going to give you a little trick. Okay? I've never said this before. It's the first time, very first time. Whenever I see a repurchase on earnings, I want to short this stock. That's my little tidbit to you. Okay? Don't say I ever gave you a little thing there. Whenever I see that, and I'm going to explain probably to my subscribers tomorrow, but the bottom line is simply, whenever they do this, that means that they really didn't have terrific earnings as they portray. So they want to throw in this little tidbit to see if they can get that extra spark, but nobody knows that, right? And 200 million on a $30 stock is like nothing. So that told me that, you know what? If this stock hits 29, I want to short the 20 to $27. I want to short the stock 1.5 to 2 points just because they said that in their earnings. And you want to see how accurate the call was? You ready? Here's Stone, right? Now I want you to see what it's like in pre-market. I was writing this, see this right here? 29. Now I said if it pops at the open towards 29 or 30, get in there and short. The stock will come down to 27.25. See where it hit? Look at that. From 28.60 to 27, guess where it hit? 27.20. Right there. And now it's trading at 26.40. Remember I said short the stock? There's really no long in this stock. All right, so all this did was simply gap fill. So that's my little tidbit for you to always remember. You start to see these purchases, they're really things to get your mind off of the reality of the company. Okay? I thought it was a well-written, well-scripted stock, quick money out of the gate, and so forth. Now we had many other trades. I want to show you the Ralph Lauren one, and there was another one that was given in the room. BYND. Darkside gave BYND. Darkside called it in the room, I believe, at 70. He was on it all morning out of the gate, and he walked it up. I traded this with him from 73.50, and he got $80 a share. So I want to give credit to Darkside on that one. And oh my gosh, Fire Trader oh, no words. He took Ralph Lauren right here at 108.50, and he gave about 109. He walked it up, and he told traders where it was going, where he was taking his money, and Ralph Lauren ended up at 114. He put money in my pocket forever. I want to thank him for that. So that was just a wonderful call. So when you see his chart tonight, you'll see it. Anyway, it was a wonderful day to trade today. Um, you, I mean, this is a day trader's paradise. I could do this. I mean, this is the kind of stuff you could do for the rest of your life, you know. And it was so much fun, and it was a joy to really help people today. You know, really see the potential within themselves, and that's really what a chat room should be about: to try to help someone, guide them, It's not about, ego or I'm better than you. It's nothing like that. This room is built for the trader to really understand why a stock's going to move up, why it's going to move down, and allow me to help you so you can make money and enjoy what you're doing. And it was a great trade. Um, AJ, those of us who are patient on SLUE trade are getting paid at the end of the day. Good. It's the short. Yeah. Very good, Johnny. So anyway, I want to thank you all for joining us. Thank you so much. I look forward to trading with you tomorrow. As far as what I think the market will do, probably just, I don't know, gap down probably 50 points. I don't know. And then kind of get a little pop at the open and a little fading. And I think it was so much fun to trade today. God, I mean, I made a statement today. There's just no physical way you could be red. There's none. You can't. Not today. But, unfortunately, not everybody can have a green day. But that's why you have a room to trade it. So to help others. So anyway, shout out to all of you for listening to this. Thank you so much. And I will see you tomorrow. I can't wait to get up again and do all this all over again. You're a wonderful group. Take care. Bye-bye.